Iain Valliere and Chris Bumstead are both two big Canadian bucks. Buckingham Palaces, baby please, to be precise. This is a fan request to see these two in battle in a picture comparison. We're going to go with the 2021 Texas Pro of Iain. It's Iain. I mean, no disrespect, Iain, by calling you Iain. It's just a funny thing that I do. I got from that Seinfeld episode. And Bumstead, we're going to use the open class version. Of course, you guys would riot if I used any other version. And I guess considering he was classic physique in all the other versions, this kind of makes sense. Now, I have seen many comparisons start with the front double bicep pose, by the way. I've seen many comparisons with these two dudes, but I can't believe I've never done one. Myself. Two big Canadians. I figured, Now this picture of Iain, and I'm sure he is at home if he's watching this. He probably is. You're a good fella, Iain. You watch my channel. Support the locals, the Marks Max Muscles. But anyway, this picture sucks. It's panned back. He didn't hit the front double when he was doing his mandatory, so it's like a lineup picture, zoomed in. It's blurry and it downright distorts the size. So you can't really see the size advantage that I'm pretty sure Iain would have over Chris Bumstead. Wheels, arms, things of that nature. So go right to the front lat spread. Now here is two nice, good, very, very good pictures here. And I mean, the angles perfectly straight, I think. Both angles are perfect. Do you guys know what I'm saying? Are you even listening to me? But yes, Bumstead's wheels look like little. They're not thin, but they're very short. They're just small in comparison with those big mounty bumps of Iain. Iain really does have mounty bumps. Upper body wise, Bumstead, he's maybe a little prettier. But this Iain Valliere is a battler and a half. Look at the big wide chest of Bumstead, drawn out just perfect. Better calves as well. Now, are these two related or something? I think Bumstead's sister, she hangs around with Iain or something of that nature. They're married, right? Melissa Bumstead, if I'm not mistaken. Now, I've also seen pictures of these guys' comparisons, and they'd switch their heads. And you guys, you diehards like me, you've probably seen them pictures where they have switched their heads. Now, what does Melissa think of that? Who would she rather hang out with? Somebody. You know what I'm saying? It's just weird. Turn to the side, for goodness sakes. I apologize. Of course, they say little bit of foolishness is good. Now, Bumstead, I'm not saying anything here, but the back of his delt sure is round and pointy, fellas. And Iain, he's a big stud. He's a Hostetler. Look at the size of this big Canadian man. I like the 70s bow, the side of the chest for Chris Bumstead. Look at the far pec. Both men look at the far pecs. Precision shot for both dudes. Bumstead, his wheel, I mean, he battles back against that massive size of those quads with excellent detail, excellent separation. So this is actually a close pose, and to be honest, I think this is, for the most part, the only picture I've ever seen these guys in a comparison. They'd show the side chest, because they are very comparable in this one. Side tricep. Huh. Look at... These guys are the same size, except Chris Bumstead has a mecha neck. A extendable neck. So Iain, he'd be at a disadvantage to go to the classic physique, because he'd have to have the weight limits of a 5'11 guy. And Bumstead, he has the body of a 5'11 guy, except he has the mecha neck, so he can have the weight limits of a guy 6'1". Do you guys get the ironing on that? The ironing is delicious. Now, I do like Iain from the side, perhaps. perhaps. Who's winning the matchup so far? Front and side combined? I don't know. It's actually quite close. We're going to have to rely on the back. You know what? These guys probably hang out. They probably go, to water parks, things of that nature after the Olympia. Well, not anymore for Iain, but prior. So they probably would walk past a mirror and say, who's better? Jeez Louise. It's close from the front, close from the side. Who's got the better back? I don't know. Bumstead's back is a more drawn out. He has the lat insertions perfect. Very symmetrical. That can help. Iain is just a great big chunk of conditioned buttocks and hamstrings. Not much on the calves. I can tell you that. But let's leave Iain alone as far as that's concerned. He has runner's calves. He's a sprinter. Highly inserted calves. Good for that quick. That's why, that's why he's a sprinter now. He can run fast. Faster than he could when he was 300 pounds, I can tell you that. Go to the rear double, for goodness sakes. A pose a little more evident, I would suggest that it is a better pose for Chris Bumstead. He has the better back. No knock on Iain. Hey, Iain has the better arms. Look at the size of Iain's arms here. Him criticized for that? Jeez Louise. Iain, man, look at those biceps. At least one of them looks like an apple. Same situation as far as the badonkadonk and the hamstrings. Is that a squished raisin? Bumstead, do you have a squished raisin on your hamstring just like Kai Green? I think so. Calves actually looking pretty massive here, Iain, for this shot. Do they not? I mean, they don't have like the lower attached muscles like your Arnold Schwarzenegger. Speaking of which, I've never really seen Arnold run fast. He jogged quite a bit, especially on Running Man, but usually doesn't run. Maybe those big calves stopped him from running too much. Anyway, Bumstead, probably the better back. Condition? I'd have to go with Iain. Here is the abs and thigh. Iain has that type of raw bone condition that you have to see to believe. People talk about it enough, then yes, you have to believe it. William Bonac, things of that nature. These guys look so much better in real life. Iain Valliere, same thing. You have to believe that. And when you're setting up picture comparisons, you got to take that into consideration. But having said that, Bumstead's, he's good too. And he has an outstanding shape, flow, all of those things and all of that nature. And in the most muscular, seems like there's a lot of situations here where good old Iain, he's taking Bumstead to school. He really is. He's just beating him. He's just plain defeating him, guys. Bumstead has a couple of aspects, of course, that are better. He has a nice wide clavicle. I mean, Iain has never been accused of having a narrow clavicle, but Bumstead, he is good in that aspect. Iain, better arms. Look at the size of the quads. Calves, I mean, hey. You're going to go by both of them combined. Iain's quads are very impressive. Very impressive indeed. And a crab position to put a finalization on this. And Bumstead has a far better crab position, which is funny when you think about it, isn't it, Iain? Shouldn't you be able to beat Bumstead in the crab position? Most muscular? You're an open class competitor, for goodness sakes. Get yourself together here. But I'm just joking. Based off the hands clasped, or hands on hips, Iain was winning the most muscular. Now, who's winning the match? Honestly, guys, this one is a very difficult one to say. Many people are going to say Bumstead, just because. Many people are going to say Iain, because they took a careful eye on this one, or they watched this one very carefully, and Iain might beat Bumstead. The judges were there looking at the two because he is more massive. He is probably more conditioned from behind. Probably, I say. because I don't really know. But I guess at the end of the day, Bumstead will be my official pick for a winner. But yeah, if you told me Iain Valliere won this one, I would probably side with you in a way. I'm about 55-45. Bumstead was just a little more perfect in a couple of shots there, and I don't want to say anything about non-symmetrical quads too much, but it might have had a factor in it. Maybe, just maybe. But Iain, you're a good dude, and I like you. I like when I watch you there on Fuad's podcast, and other guys too. Fuad himself, you guys are all good. Oh, and James Halling said, you guys are all nice fellers. All nice fellers. Samson's on there, for goodness sakes. He's good. Samson's an awesome dude as well, you guys. I like yous all here at Mark's Max Muscle. So, yeah, see. Have a great one, guys.